Hello friends and welcome to Time Classes. Today's topic is pie charts part 2 and the handout that we will be discussing is BIHO 3531904. In the previous class we have discussed the basic concepts of pie charts and today we will be completing the rest of the handout. So let's see what we have in store today. To get the most out of this class, I suggest that you keep a notebook by your side for some quick notes and question solving. I will give you some time per question to solve so that you can get the best out of this class. So with that, let's begin today's class. This is directions for question 11 to 15. Please look at the data. Okay, so basically you are given that there is a school, there are students belonging to 5 different schools, and the number of students who appeared from school P, 54 degrees, corresponds to 243. 54 degrees corresponds to 243 is given to you. And based on this, you will have the questions. Okay. Okay. Take 30 seconds. See, you need students from Q and T put together minus students from P and R put together. That means you need the students individually from each of these sections. So you need to carry out that calculation. That is, if 54 degrees corresponds to 243, then what does 102 correspond to, 36 degree correspond to, and so on. Calculate individually all of them. Okay. So basically 54 degrees corresponds to 243 students. So we can find out the remaining. What does 360 degree correspond to? So 54 degree is 243 students. So 1 degree will be 243 by 54, and 360 degree will correspond to 243 into 360 by 54. Okay. You can make an arrow over here rather than an equal to, because degree cannot be equal to people. Left hand side degree, right hand side people. So you make an arrow corresponds. Okay, when you calculate this, you will get 1620. That is, total number of students is 1620. And now your calculation becomes fairly quick and easy. So if total number of students is 1620, then you find out for 102 degrees. How much is 102 degrees corresponding to 102 by 360 into 1620? And that turns out to be 459. This is for P. Oh, sorry, for Q. P is done. P is 54 degrees. Q is 102 degrees. That's 459. Keep writing. Next, R. So you can write a Q over here and an R over here. R 48 degree will be 48 into 1620 divided by 360. That is 2016. Next, S 120 degree. So 120, 360, this becomes divided by 3. 1620 divided by 3 is 540. And the last case of 36 degree, 36 divided by 360 is 1 by 10, and 0 gets cancelled out, 162. 0 gets cancelled out, 162. So now you have all the values. You have P, Q, R, S, T. And then you can make this kind of table. Okay, make this table neatly, clearly. These may or may. See, now that nothing more is there in the data because you got all the values. So now you can't, the questions cannot pose problems for you. Write all this down. Simple calculations. Unitary method. Okay. Okay, so now what do you have to calculate? Q and T put together is how much more than P and R put together? Q and T, 459 plus 162 is how much more than P and R, 243 plus 216. So 459 plus 162 minus 243 plus 216, which is 162. 162 is the correct answer. Okay, and this table is going to be useful now for the remaining questions because you have all the values. And next, question 12, take 30 seconds. You have all the values. Okay, see what some of you might have done. You already have the total 1620 and you have the people who appeared from school Q. Let's just put it that. Q is 459. Okay. So percentage of students appearing from school Q, some of you would have written as 459 divided by 1620 into 100. It's a proper calculation. It's going to take some time to do, and you may need a calculator. But it simply needs a percentage. Okay. So this is what some of you would have done. 459 divided by 1620 into 100. But wouldn't this be faster? 102 degrees out of 360 into 100. You don't need these complicated values. 102 degrees out of 360 degrees, you need a percentage into 100. That would give you the same answer, and it would be faster. Why I'm telling you this is that this can happen in the exam, unnecessarily doing time-consuming calculations. So again, I am telling that, is the total required or not? Many times total is not required, this total. In absolute value terms. In a percentage or degree terms itself, it might be sufficient. Okay. It's choice number B. Choice number B. Okay. So I'm showing you some alternate ways also, which might be certainly faster for many questions. Okay, let's move to question number 13. Take 30 seconds. Now here you need the actual value, average number of students. Okay. So straightforward, you already have the table, you have the values for R, S, and T. So add them up, average will be divided by 3. So the answer will be 306. Simple solving. 306. Okay, next question. Take 30 seconds. Make sure you look at the table, but also see, do you need the table or not? Okay. So this is if you use the values inside the table. Again, a fairly complicated calculation. Little bit of reduction needs to be there. This may not or may not be the exact value. But Q more than P is 102 degrees to be compared with 54 degrees. So 102 minus 54 divided by 54 into 100 because you need a percentage value. So 102 minus 54 becomes 48. So 48 by 54 is 8 by 9. 48 by 54 is 8 by 9 into 100. That is 88.88%. 8 by 9 into 100, 88.88%. Another straightforward easy question, and again I wish to show you that you do not need the values, just with the degrees also it can be done. Last question for this set, take 30 seconds. Another easy question. Now you need the values because the final answer is in terms of absolute values. Okay. So basically in school S you have 540 students and 35% of them passed. I'll tell you the easy way to calculate this. 35% is 10% plus 10% plus 10% plus 5%. So you get 54 plus 54 plus 54 plus 27. Okay. Please write over here 189 equal to 54 plus 54 plus 54 plus 27. These are the students who passed. That means how many failed? Out of 540, 189, I'm sorry. Yes, out of 540, 189 passed. Then how many failed? 540 minus 189, just 351. 351. Okay, let's move to the next set. Question 16 to 20. Now here what is given? You go through the data. So it's just a percentage breakup of the number of cars produced by 5 different companies. Okay, nothing more. So data seems fairly straightforward. So now let's look at the question. Take 30 seconds. Okay, so company A is 25% on ratio of cars produced by A to C and D together. So you want 25%, A is 25%, C and D is 28 plus 12%. So that's 25% is to 40%, which is 5 is to 8. 5 is to 8. So your answer is option number B. 5 is to 8. Okay, next question 17. Okay. Take 30 seconds. See, every car is going to have a cost. Okay. So that means company C has 12% of the cars, so it will have 12% of the cost. So now basically we have what is 33 1 by 3% is 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 of 12% of the cost corresponds to 168 lakhs. Okay. One third of, see, forget the one third. The company C has 12% of the total cost. So one third of 12% of the total cost is the one third of 12% of the total cost. This is the uh, manufacturing cost. It says one third of the manufacturing cost incurred by company C is 160 lakhs. So 12% of total cost is the manufacturing cost. So one third of the manufacturing cost corresponds to 168 lakhs. Find the total investment or find what is 100%. So 4% corresponds to 168 lakhs. So 1% corresponds to 42 lakhs. So 10% corresponds to 4200 lakhs. Okay. One third of manufacturing cost. What is manufacturing cost? By C, 12% of total cost. So 1% of 12% of total cost. Sorry, 1 by 3 of 12% corresponds to 168 lakhs. 4% is 168 lakhs. 1% is 42 lakhs. 100% becomes 4200 lakhs. And that is 42 crores CR. 42 CR. Option number C. Okay. Slightly more tricky. But still, just few steps. And the next, take 30 seconds. Okay. You are given cars by D, cars manufactured by D, and you are given the manufacturing cost for company E per car. So you want total investment by company E. That means you need number of cars by E. You get cars by E, then you will get investment by E. So from D you will go to E. Okay. So 28% of the total cars is for 1400. D corresponds to 28%. So 28% of total is 1400. That means the total cars are 5000. Now company E has how many of these? Company E has 15% of 5000. Company E produces 15% of 5000 cars, and per car he spends 1.6 lakhs. So total investment will be 15% of 5000. This becomes the total number of cars into 1.6 lakhs. That is, just simply calculate, you get it as 12 crores. 12 CR. Okay. So here you can sort of make a curly bracket or something and write down number of cars by E. Here you can write down number of cars by E, and then under 1.6 you can write down cost per car. Then you get the total cost as 12 CR. Straightforward, easy question. Okay. Choice number A. From D we go to E. 28% of the total cars are produced by D, which are 1400, which is 1400. So total cars turns out to be 5000. So cars produced by D is 15% of 5000, and this cost per car, so you get the total cost. Okay, next, take 30 seconds. Easy question. Okay, let's look at this. So we are simply comparing cars by D versus cars by A. So we are comparing D by 28% with 25%. So let total cars be T. So cars by company D is 28%, that's 0.28T. And by company A is 0.25T. So 0.28T minus 0.25T divided by 0.25T is 12%. Straightforward. Direct question. No complication. Okay. Easy. You can write this down. Last question for this set. Yeah, easy question. Cars manufactured by C is given. Find average cars manufactured by B, D, E together. Okay. Sure. So basically 12% corresponds to 540. Cars by C is 12%, which is given as 540. Average number of cars by BD together you have to find. So just a simple calculation, 1% becomes 45. Now BDE together is 20 plus 28 plus 15. How much is that? 28, 48, 63%. 63% average is 21%. So if 1% is 45, how much is 21%? That's 21 into 45, that's 945. Option number B is the answer. 945. Okay. Okay, let's look at the last set. Look at the data. So you are basically given investment in different areas in crores. So all these areas are given X, Y, Z, PQR. The names are written. Government securities, private securities, guaranteed, etc. And the investment in crores is given. The absolute data is given. So again, it's fairly easy data, no complications. So let's look at the questions. Central angle of the sector representing the investment in private securities guaranteed. Okay, so private securities guaranteed is y. Y is 200. So basically, you want required angle 200 out of all of them. And then you want angle, you multiply with 360. If you wanted percentage, you would multiply by 100. But since you want angle, then you multiply by 360 degrees. So 200 out of the total into 360. Okay, and that will give you, your total is 2720. Simple calculation will give you the answer as 26 degrees. Okay, and now remember this total 2720. It may be required in the next question, so you don't need to calculate the total again. Sure. Next. Okay, so you want to compare others, that is here R, with private securities non-guaranteed Z. So ratio of R with Z is going to be 826 by 830. 826 by 830 is obviously less than 1. So option B is the answer. Choice number B is the answer. 826 by 830. Easy questions. Really easy questions. Just you need good comprehension. What is the question saying? Next, question 33. Do the calculation. Okay. So secured local bonds is P. P is 339. 339 out of total you already had 2720. So 339 divided by 2720 into 100. You do the calculation and you get it as 12.5%. Approximately 12.5%. Okay. Okay. Next question. 24. Okay. So you are given interest on secured local bonds is 5%. Then the interest received by Parvi in 1 year on the same is how much? So secured local bonds is P. P is 339 crores and interest is 5%. So interest will be 5% of 339 crores. So you get 339 crores, which is into 10 power 7 into 5%. That's 5 by 100. that is approximately 16.95 crores, which is 17 crores. Okay. Interest on secured local bonds is 5% per annum. So interest on, so what would be the principal? Principal would be the investment. That is 339 crores. Interest is 5%. So 5% of 339 crores. Simple calculation and you get the answer. You can write this down. Yeah, we have not had a very tough question in today's class. Fairly straightforward. All questions are not very challenging. But I hope all this has been okay for you. So let's go for the last question for today. Okay. Consider this carefully. Take 1 minute. For which of the investments is the return highest? These are all investments. For which of them will the return be highest? X or Z or R? X or Z or R? Which will have the highest rate of return? Okay. Yes. Which will have the highest rate of return? 324 crores or 830 crores or 826 crores? Which will be the highest rate of return? The answer is data inadequate. You are not given the rate of returns on any of the investments. It's not there. So your or you are not given the returns. You don't know on X how much return one got, on Z how much, and on R how much. So you can't calculate the rate of return. Cannot be calculated, and so data is inadequate. Data is inadequate. So with this, we finish your handout. We have seen that pie chart, what does it look like, how to calculate quickly, percentages to degrees and degrees to percentages, how to calculate quickly. We have also seen that you don't need the total value always, and the question may simply be asking for a comparison of values. And we have also seen that the questions are fairly straightforward, maybe slightly calculation intensive, but otherwise they are going to be very straightforward. And in many questions, we have also seen alternate ways of solving the question. Instead of absolute values, you just take the percentage values and compare them, or the degree values and depends. Thank you for your time and attention. See you next.